What's up, guys? Welcome to my 16th, I believe, Pygame tutorial. And in this tutorial I'm going to be going over how to calculate the distance between 2 points. Now I got my little drawing thing open to show you guys visually because I found out that it was a lot easier if you guys could see. So in my last tutorial we had 2 points, one at 2025 and one at 4055. So if we went over 20 and down 25, let me put 20, 25. Wow, I got pretty good handwriting on screen. And then we went over 40 and down 55. So over 40, down 55. So I'll put this at 40, 55. And we already built a function to calculate our vector, which was 20, which is the difference between the x, and 30. So let me go ahead, and here would be our vector right here, and you can calculate that because the difference is let's see, it's 20 down and 30 across. So our vector would be 20, 30. So now that we have our vector, we need to calculate the value or distance of this line right here. So if you're wondering, alright, I know what a vector is, I know how to calculate the coordinates of the vector, but I need to figure out the distance from point A, which is here, to point B. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And by the way, since this is a right triangle, the formula for this is a squared, and this side equals b squared. In this slope, this would be c squared. So a squared, I'm not even going to type it, plus b squared equals c squared. So that's what we're going to do. This is called Pythagorean's theorem, and he gave this to us because he wanted us to make computer games. So that's what we're about to do, and that's what I'm about to show you how to do. So let me minimize out of that. And we already got one function. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and change this to x and y. X, y, x, y. Let me run it, make sure it still runs, make sure I didn't break anything. And 2030, there you go, still runs. So now that we figured out this formula to go ahead and build the vector, we need a formula to figure out the distance. So let's do that right now. Let's make another function in our class, in our vector class, and this time let's name it distance. So def distance, and make it self. And what we need to do is first set the variable of the side A and the side B. So we already have we already have a list up here, and the first item in the list is the difference in the first side, and the second item in the list is the difference in the second side. So the first item in the list is this right here, and the second item in the list is this right here. So we can utilize those variables that we already got in our formula down here. Man, would you look at this? I really messed up. That's like graffiti right now. Anyways, so we can use that list to extract the values from it to, well, it's a lot easier to see. So let's go ahead and set two variables for the side so it's easier to see. Self A, I don't know why I said A twice, but this is equal to self diff 0. Since this is equal to this coordinate minus this coordinate, so right now self A is going to equal 20. Because remember, here's the list I was talking about. This list is self diff. So self A is going to be equal to the first item in it, which is 20, and self B I'm going to make is equal to this item, which is 30. And then we can use those two items, these are the two sides, and we can use these two sides to figure out the length of that third side. So let's go ahead and write self B and set it equal to self diff, and this would be 1. Since, remember, 0 is the first item in the list and 1 is the second item. It's weird, but that's the way it is. And now we need a something called a math function square root. So what we need to do is import math, and this will give us the use of the square root function, which will give us the ability to solve for that third side. So what we want to do is return math dot square root, and again what we need to put in here is a squared plus b squared. So go ahead and put self dot a asterisk asterisk that 2, and that means square root in Python. You probably should know that. Self b asterisk asterisk 2. And what this pretty much means, it's a really complicated way of writing it, but a squared plus b squared and equals c squared. In order to get c squared, we need to take the square root of it. So that's what this does right now. So let's go ahead, and the last thing we have to do is print out our answer. So print thing dot distance, and it doesn't take any parameters. As you can see, it only takes the self parameter. So let's go ahead and run this, and then after it works, I'll show you guys it one more time. So here are the two sides. This side is 20 going up and down. The side going left and right is 30, and the distance between those is 36. So let me show you in my awesome, here we go, right here. This side would be 20, this side would be 30, and this side would be 36, the slope side. And again, if you take this side squared plus this side squared, it equals this side squared, and that's how you get it. And it's a lot easier if you know that theorem, but anyways, that's how you do it. So let me talk you guys through this one more time. What we did is we took this list that we already built. We already knew the first item in the list was the length of the first side. The second item in the list was the length of the second side. So all we needed to do is square those, square A and square B, and then you got the square root of the slope side, or excuse me, the distance of the slope side. And then we just printed it out. So that's your quick tutorial on how to find the distance between 2 points using a vector. It makes it really easy, thanks to Pythagoras or whatever his name is. So practice this tutorial, follow along with me. Don't forget to change your variables, and also don't forget to import math, or else you won't be able to use the square root function. So again, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next tutorial.